I think maybe just PS2 honestly is what we're gonna see. PS2 or maybe even Town. Oh, I think Small Battlefield. So PS2 or Small Battlefield is gonna happen probably. Yep. Okay, here it is. It makes sense.
You know what? I completely forgot about Small Battlefield in the mix of all that. Okay, so actually this makes a lot of sense. This is very, like, I think this is the most even pick between the two. They both get something they're happy with, while also not having nearly as much room to work, like to run away from the Palutena. Yep. If you're in this matchup.
Remember, the big thing is just gonna be, since Isabelle's like ground game isn't that great, especially get like versus like Palutena for example. Palutena has to kind of do a good job of calling out when Isabelle's going to jump and where, and countering that with her forward air, nair, and back air. Whereas Isabelle's goal is to kind of like bait out Palutena to jump, expecting Isabelle to jump so she can use her fairs and bears. So it's almost like a game of like chicken, right? Of who makes the other person jump in the wrong spot. With that, and they both have projectile pressure on each other. With that said, Palutena's main advantage in the match is probably just going to be she's Palutena. She's a top tier. Isabelle is not quite a top tier.
Yeah, I think you just nailed it all on the head. And that whole first stock was exactly how you were breaking it down as it went. Constantly calling out the jumps, constantly recognizing that, like, where Zercon wanted to go. And I like the idea behind that trap right there. You're trying to keep, you're trying to bait out the jump because you don't think they're going to roll in on that. But what's Zercon's option? Almost timing that, absolutely calling out that teleport in.
Yep, and the thing is, you know, Midnight's been doing that a lot. Those uppies on stage in every set we've seen is just a Midnight classic at this point. But it is so punishable to be ready. We must be ready because that uppie is very low landing lag. It is an extremely good move, not just for recovery.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm consistently impressed by how well Zercon plays up close in boxes too. Like you saw, was willing to move up close, get right next to that up smash and get a hard punish. And most of this damage from this stock actually came from just staying up close against Palu. No zoning pressure at all. Good. Luckily not dying to that back air because that could have been huge. That Nair not going to do it either. But let's see what Midnight can do about the ledge trap here. Not getting anything out of it.
Yep. I mean, now Zercon's at kill percents, but you know, it's fine, honestly, because unless you give Palutena that opening. I was about to say, she has a little bit of trouble killing in general, especially online, because a lot of her kill moves are very precise and don't linger long, like that back air, or their moves like Nair, which don't have too much range. But yeah, it doesn't matter right now. With that said, you know, back throw will definitely kill, punishes the Nair, because that Nair, while it is a ridiculous move, it also leaves you open if the opponent just blocks it and is immediately on there with the punish.
Yeah, solid. I have solid consistency on Zercon as well with these not only these edge guards but just the ledge traps in general. Like making sure that you consistently. Oh my goodness! Trying to look for a jump right there too. That could have been big damage.
Oh my god, so much damage off that down B. I don't know why Zercon went for the grab when I covered the down B space, but you know, holding advantage state right now, winning the game, currently getting right in front of Palutena's face. And Palutena
easily
is looking like she's about to lose this game right now.
Yeah, easily the most impressive thing that Zercon could do is just make that damage fly up so fast with just the constant trap. And gets the punish, runs right in on the mistaked attempt to zone out. And that it kind of plays exactly what you're saying before. Things like reticle or zoning don't really work that well on a small frame.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You just run up to an Palutena hitter, and you know, Isabelle's not a fast character. She's not slow, but she's certainly not going to run in your face easily. So the fact that she has time to just straight up run right at Palutena for doing auto reticle underneath the neutral B and then just kill her with up smash, like, that's how laggy that move is if you call it out as a short character.
Yeah, honestly, I did not have especially at that first stock, I didn't really have any bets going the way of how that game would go for Zercon. Like, I thought maybe Zercon will adjust as it went. Nah, it didn't even require a game 2. Like, just really a lot of it had to do with that quick mobility to get in. That surprising mobility, I'll say, to get in and actually put quick damage on. But another thing was the consistency of beating out teleport at ledge. That's something I was going to comment on before. There is always a lot of people I see throughout, like, major brackets, especially against the Palu matchup, who leave that up B alone. You can punish that pretty well, and you saw Zercon hit it like a solid 7 out of 9 times, and that puts so much fear into a Palu as they're trying to get back. It makes them a little bit more reckless as they get on stage.
Yeah, and you have to do that because Palutena, no hitbox at up B, so it's kind of linear. You can see it coming. You know, there are angles where it's invincible from like higher up, but you can kind of force Palu out of those angles, so that's just a free chance to kill her almost every time she has to go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, again, it's that fear factor, getting into their head, making them uncomfortable. And I think that's just how, oh my god, where's Zercon
Bro.
going? I like the reverse attempt though on that down air. That actually would have been a nice surprise. I don't know if it would have KO'd.
It
but...
would for sure, I think. Because Isabelle's so light, remember? And Palutena's down air.
Oh, true.
So the down air is, it's weird. It's not that big. It comes up pretty fast. Doesn't linger at all. And the thing is, if it hits you, it's a powerful down air. It's like, it will kill you at like anything above 40, no matter who you are. Oh, we just got him with the double side B. The double side B, Palutena classic, you know, catches people trying to land a little bit too fast, not paying attention. And
yeah, definitely one of those like one-trick pony things you use like every couple games. Like you don't want to do that too often because then people start they'll start recognizing it. It's a good way to condition an air dodge, kind of like that. But it's a good thing to pull out the last second. I think that this stage is definitely looking a lot better so far for Midnight. But really, we said that before it's the last one, and Zercon was able to run it back.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a longer stage than the last one. I do think the longer stage will help Palutena because, you know, right now Midnight is getting away with a lot of zoning and just making it hard for Zercon to get close. They said up beyond stage, you know, Midnight loves doing that. Poor DI in the down throw, and Zercon is getting lapped already.
Oh, all right. A little bit of assistance coming in from Brutal right there, Buntai, trying to find a roll in with that back air. That's one of those things that you always see Palutena do. And good extension off the damage, just getting a little bit more from Zercon. But 121, don't go anywhere near that ledge. They're going to look for that back throw.
Oh, that's a big opening that Midnight potentially gave Zercon. Zercon doesn't get the biggest punch off of it, but anything better than nothing. With that said, kind of slept on the wheel when it came to that side B there. And you can't let Palutena zone you like that. If she's far away, she can't hit you with anything but projectiles. You have to just respect that. She doesn't have a limit or anything that she charges. Her timing around playing it slow doesn't actually hurt you. So you can play it slow and wait for your opening.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see Zercon like trying to find some adaptation around that, right? Like just trying to like now retreating a little bit more with some of these aerials to kind of establish like I don't want you to zone, and if you happen to decide to pull the trigger out, you'll maybe anticipate me to throw out an aerial, but instead I'm going to cover you the same way I covered that last KO. Oh, looking for the spot dodge instead of the roll. If that was a roll read, that would have been a KO.
All the side barely clipping Mr.Zercon, and this game is looking very rough right now. That is a kill though. Catching, you know, Midnight SoCal actually ran across the entire stage looking for that grab, and that wasn't even going to set up a kill, I don't think. That was maybe about the best play. And this next stock, you know, is not off to a great start for Midnight.
Yeah, honestly, like it really just seems like whenever Zercon's behind, especially on last stock, just turns it up a whole different level. All the mix-ups come out, all the pressure comes out, and like even though it's only 46%, it's been 46 pretty much unanswered. So that is much more stressful, and couldn't even get a ledge trap out of that because of the fact that the Lloyd was in the way.
Yeah, and you know, Midnight spent time getting rid of the Lloyd instead of trying to pass it or something. Means that, you know, Zercon gets on stage basically for free and resets to neutral, which is not what you want, but you do want to land side B at kill percent. That is certainly what you want.
Yeah, and that was set up a few times over because you saw at like in the beginning of the match, Midnight went for the low ones a few times. So that throws off your air dodge timing. That throws you off because you go for that short hop jump and then you catch them sleeping up at the top. So good job from Midnight. The stage definitely worked by comparison to the other stage, but even so, it's not like Small Battlefield was that bad for Palu. It's just that the ability for Zercon to just explode after finding an opening has just been so consistent. It didn't really happen there on PS2 though.
Yeah, and now with that said, you know, we have what stage is going to be. I'm expecting a small stage, Battlefield, Smashville, Small Battlefield, probably one of those stages.
Let's see.
Oh no, they're just running it back. I did not expect that. Oh, actually.
Yeah, honestly, like that game looked a lot more difficult, but it still had a lot of times where Zercon just got in. Just the thing is, it's kind of similar to like where the Adamus matchup went earlier that we saw. The damage was on, but the KOs weren't. And even if you could get Palu to high percent, Palu's going to end up killing you much faster off of one of these trades by comparison to what you could get. So let's see if Zercon can finish the deal a little sooner. But
the great wall of back air from Palutena, the classic from, you know, 2008 pretty much even. You know, we saw them day one and said, yeah, you can just use that move over and over, it works. And 2021, it still just works.
Keep it. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep it up. Keep it going. Good job avoiding that Lloyd after those double fares, keeping the pressure on. And now Midnight is the one that we're seeing going in a lot more. I like it too, especially when you're up a whole stock. you don't want someone like Zercon, who you've already seen a few times, capitalize so big on a few situations. Just put the pressure on now. That way, if that last stock comes where you're up 2, you can then afford to kind of chill back a bit and make Zercon come to you.
Yeah, and now that's exactly what I think Midnight's doing, right? Making Zercon come to Midnight because Zercon has to. You know, they're down way too much to the footstool. Oh my god, and almost
god.
It coaxes again. Like, Zercon is a minute and 20 seconds, and Zercon's about to lose their second stock in this game.
Good job of winning the jump, but immediately answering right back with the dash attack, just barely missing that obsession. Still punishing after that's almost the KO with that back throw. That's the jump too. Yeah, you had to fade away. You had no other option there. And at 166, a throw is 100% going to KO. Which throw is it though?
That does not kill. And that, like, Zercon needed that to kill. Obviously, Zercon, like, needs to kill anytime he can get a chance, but still. Because now Palutena gets to play the zone game again, and you know that Midnight's going to remember, oh yeah, side B might kill me now. Let's not get caught by it.
There's that back throw we talked about a second ago. Now this is so rough because you got one of two things. Midnight stays in, continues to box you like before, and you just have to accept it. Or Midnight can decide to just kind of chill back, annoy you a bit, and force a much easier KO. But finally, a KO has found its way into the hands of Zercon.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Zercon got the kill, he's on the board, but it might be too little too late unless he can pull out some crazy stuff. I do want to see a stage change for game 4 because you could tell that Midnight is very comfortable on this stage and Zercon is not on the same level of comfort at all in this matchup on this stage.
Yeah, and I think a big part of this too, and in the no fear factor, is that you saw Zercon get 45% or so out of those strings, but then Palutena had plenty of room to run away. And that is enormous because Zercon is definitely a person who makes a zoner a boxing character in the way that he plays Isabelle and the wider stage played against them. Great job from Midnight there in that game 3, looking very, very dominant. I don't know where we see the switch. You said there's no DSR, right?
There's no DSR, just 2 bans, 6 stages.
Okay, so
yeah.
I mean, high likelihood we pop. I think the only other thing that might be available left is probably going to be the small battlefield pick. I don't know what your point of view is maybe on it, but
I think that's where you have to go, yeah. So if Palutena doesn't get rid of FD, you go there. If she does, you want small battlefield or Smashville. Battlefield might also be an option, but at the same time it's risky. I would say if you're like 1-1 you can do it, but if you're down 1-2, you don't want to do it versus Palutena. Her up air strings can be sometimes end games for no reason.
Yeah. And that was a consistent thing that Midnight had going too between game 2 and some points in game 3 there was just being able to consistently catch the landings. And here we are, the return to a small battlefield. Similar layout, less room to have to work with, get pressure off the platforms, and sure, you got to deal with Midnight up close a bit more with the way with how solid Midnight was playing, but you at least get to keep that pressure up when you finally find it compared to how he was easily able to run away in the last game.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully this works out. You know, like we already see it's a little bit closer at the start, although Midnight has really just figured out Zercon's openings. Like, you know, Midnight's figured out when they can throw projectiles out without Zercon punishing, when the backers are going to connect, baiting out the Zercon up tilt. That was definitely input there. And I feel like Zercon's like bag of tricks, like using down B stuff, landing side Bs is all kind of just fizzled out.
That happens a lot to trap-based characters as the bracket moves on, right? Because not only are you trying to get that on the people you're playing, but the people who are watching you, waiting for you to get to them, get to see your traps too. So, like, Midnight was able to get an eye on what happened with the Adamus set due to the fact that Marco ended up DQing, so there's a little more time to watch. And, you know, I think that maybe that might have played into it, but that was actually a pretty solid trap idea there. Luckily for Midnight, actually chose the one that didn't lead to death.
Yeah. With that said, Midnight has no jump left, and that is going to be a kill. Yeah. Even if she didn't die there, Palutena could not make that back with up B.
And that's the first time we've seen a real big capitalization off of, like, all these solid edge guards that Zercon has had has always led to, you know, a tech from Midnight or just a small push away downward where Palu was able to make it back. Good call, recognizing
the counter.
Just getting the free setup out of it too, like that's enormous. The back air is gonna close it, but I think that is a big thing in terms of the confidence book for Zercon if you see him start to go for things like that.
Yeah, I think he has to keep going for these edge guards right now and just maybe bait up Palutena doing things, just getting her face. It's definitely, this stage is working a lot better than PS2. see this like immediate change in how the pace of the game is going. You know, Midnight has not had chances to throw projectiles safely, has had to play this boxing game more. And it's so different when you have to play boxing games versus when you can choose to play it, right?
Yeah. That's really just like a big thing, and part of like the neutral game starts at the stage pick. If you can remove somebody's ability to reset neutral more often, it's so much more important. Regardless of the fact that these platforms are the same layout, it doesn't matter because there's less room. Great job from Zercon there, and getting this to a lead, however not a super comfortable lead, only at 94.
Oh, the platform there. If the platform was not there, that could have been like a really big combo. We've seen Zercon kill for those things constantly and barely miss getting them constantly. If that up smash had like 2 frames less end leg, we get like some insane up smash combos. I think that was bad DI. That shouldn't have killed. Yeah,
went straight up to the corner. Like very consistent DI from Zercon all night. But either way, you know, getting that KO is huge for Midnight here. Midnight really needs to get something going. Like just completely keep Zercon grounded. Find a way to stop this pressure. And you see now he's kind of pushing in, but.
Yeah, he tries pushing it, gets a little string there, but overextends a little bit too much, gets reversal by Isabelle, and there's basically a net neutral gain. Which, you know, when you're down a percent, it's not good. And it's not like Isabelle's having trouble killing, you know, Palu. Palu's dying like 120-ish consistently, I want to say. Around the same percent where Palu's killing Isabelle.
Oh, yeah, oh, just barely missed that air dodge call out. And dipping underneath. Oh, that's it!
Yep. The side B up there. One of the early, you know, ultimate classics of Palutena. I think Isabelle tried to set up a down B actually. In the
he did,
side
yeah.